Hi. Dito na naman tayo sa week 5 ng Basic Operating System and Networking. Ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon ay tungkol sa client-server architecture. So, ang pagkakaalam naman natin, ang client-server, so meron siyang dalawang component, yung client at saka yung server. Okay? Pag sinabi natin client, ito yung mga workstation o kaya yung mga individual computer. Okay? Pag server naman, siya yung specialized na computer kung saan siya yung nagbibigay lahat ng resources, lahat ng application, printer, yung file, yan. So dito pag-aralan natin kung ano yung mga yon. Okay? So, yan. So, client-server architecture is a computing model in which the server hosts, delivers, and manages most of the resources and services to be consumed by the client. So, siya yung nagbibigay kung ano man yung mga kailangan ng client. So, yun yung server. Okay? This type of architecture has one or more client computers connected to a central server over a network or internet connection. So masasabi ba natin na network o kaya client server yung isang network kung yung ang meron lang ay yung server? So hindi, di ba? Kailangan mo ng client. Kasi hindi natin masasabi na network yung isang computer kung wala naman silang kasama unless na connected siya sa internet. Yan. So this system shares computing resources. Yan. Client-server architecture is also known as a networking computing model or client-server network because all the requests and services are delivered over a network. Okay? So kung may kailangan yung isang computer o ng isang client, kailangan dadaan muna siya sa server. Lahat ng kailangan niya, lahat ng gagawin niya ay dapat nakadepende siya sa server. Ganun yung client server. Kaya nga tinawag na client server. Client with the server. Okay? Hindi pwedeng trabaho yung client kung wala yung taga-serve. Okay? Yan. So ito yung example ng client-server architecture. Yung server, kumbaga naka-centralize lang siya at meron siyang 4 na client kung saan connected sila lahat sa server. Kung connected sila sa server, ibig sabihin nun, nakadepende na sila doon sa server. Okay? Yung mga client, hindi yan gagana kung hindi naka-on yung server. Hindi yan papasok sa Windows kung hindi naka-open yung server. Okay? Hindi mo pwedeng ilagay yung password kung hindi naka-open yung server. Kahit na naka-open yung server kasi may password din yung server, pag hindi na ilagay yung password, hindi rin may ilagay yung password sa client. Kasi nandun sila lahat. Kung ano yung password na naka-configure sa server, yun din ang password ng client. Okay? So, ganun yung server. Okay? So, ito yung sinasabi kong component ng client server. Okay? Client server architecture of database system has logical components, the server and the client. So pag sinabi nating server, the servers are provided with specific functionalities. Okay? Server is a large workstation mainframe or mainframe computer system. Okay? So ano yung sa palagay niyo, ano ba yung purpose ng server? Okay? So ano yung trabaho talaga ng server? Main job ng server. Okay? To serve, di ba? Siya yung tagabigay, okay, ng lahat ng kailangan ng mga client. The DBMS software resides on the server. So ano ba yung DBMS? The database management system. Okay? The server computer is called backend computer. Okay? The backend manages access structures, query evaluation and optimization, concurrency control, and recovery. Okay? So lahat ng yan ay ginagawa ng back-end computer o kaya yung server computer. For example, number of PCs or small workstation as client are connected to file server that maintains the file of the client machine. Yan. So, yung isang trabaho ng server kasi, di ba, marami tayong klase ng server. We have file server, print server, web server, yan, ano pa. So, yun yung mga types ng server. So, dito, mayroon tayong tinatawag na file server. So, kung yung isang client ay kailangan niya ng file na, di ba, yung, siyempre, pag sinabi natin client, connected na siya agad sa server. So, pag kailangan niya yung file na, example, pag may ginawa na siya dati, nag-save siya, automatic yan na pupunta siya o may save yan sa file server. Okay? Ngayon, pag nag-access naman yung client na yon, automatic naman na doon niya kukunin yung file na gusto niyang i-open o yung dati na niyang ginawa. O kaya, kung yung isang client ay may gusto siyang kunin sa file server, so nakadepende na yun sa restriction ng administrator. Kung lahat ba ng client ay pwedeng mag-access sa file server sa isang folder, example, kasi every workstation o kaya yung client merong sari-sariling server. Kahit na yung mga users, may sari-sariling folders. So, kung gusto ng isang client na mag-access ng hindi naman sa kanya, nakadepende yon sa administrator kung bibigyan niya ba ng access yung isang client. Okay? So dapat mag-usap muna sila. Okay? Mag-usap yung may-ari ng file na yun saka yung nag-access. Pero kung walang permission yung may-ari, hindi siya makakapag-access doon. Okay? So ganun yung file server. So lahat may restriction, may permission. Okay? Dito naman tayo sa print server. Print server can be connected to various printers. Therefore, all print requests by the client are forwarded to this machine. Ang print server kasi, iisa lang yan actually kung tutusin. So, mas maganda na isa lang yung print server natin para hindi tayo malito pag nagpiprint tayo, lalo na pag marami naka-install na printer sa computer natin o kaya sa workstation natin. So, mas maganda na isa lang kung ano yung meron lang na printer, yun lang ang naka-install dapat sa computer natin. Kasi pag nangyayari, pwede tayong baka sabihin natin sira yung printer natin kasi hindi magpi-print, hindi walang signal na pumupunta sa printer kasi iba pala yung printer na nakalagay sa computer natin. Okay, yung naka-configure na printer ay iba pala. So, kapag yung printer ay connected o naka-set up as a print server, lahat ng client ay pwedeng mag-print sa printer na yon, sa print server. Lahat ng client pwedeng makapag-print unless na i-restrict na naman ng administrator. O ikaw, hindi ka pwedeng mag-print dito. Na ganun. Computer 1 ay hindi pwedeng mag-print sa server. Pwedeng ganun. Okay? So, ganun yung printer. Kapag nag-install tayo ng printer or ng print server, dapat nag-install din tayo sa mga client. Yung ang tinutukoy ko ito yung device driver. Yung install natin yung device driver ng printer. Kung ano yung printer na nandun sa network natin. Yun din ang install natin sa mga client para makapag-access sila. Okay. And the web server and email server are also specialized server. So, paano yan? Okay. The resources provided by the specialized server can be accessed by many client machine. Kasi yung pag mayroon kang web server or email server, lahat ng siyempre pag sinabi natin kasing web server, ang pinag-uusapan natin ngayon diyan is internet, di ba? Email, yan, electronic mail. So, internet na yan. So, lahat yan nakadepende na naman sa server. Okay? Nasa server lahat. Kung yung server ay bigyan ka ng access sa internet, okay naman. Eh, pwede yun. Pwede naman na hindi ka bigyan ng access sa internet. Yun nga, nire-restrict ka. Okay? Yun ang medyo hindi maganda sa server kasi maraming restriction. Pero ang restriction na yun ay napakaganda rin sa network. Kasi kung minsan iniiwasan din natin yung hacking kung minsan ganun. Hacking, yung pagkuha ng mga files ng walang pahintulot, mga ganun. So, mas maganda yung server base kaya lang yun nga maraming restriction talaga. So, secure. Okay? Kaya nga mas maganda siya kasi yung mga files mo may security. Okay? So, ganun. So, client naman, so ito yung client. Clients are personal computers or workstation. Kung ito yung ordinary computers lang na parang ano lang siya. Okay? The application and tools run on one or more client machine. Okay? So the client computer is called front end, and front end consists of tools such as forms, report, writers, and graphical user interface or GUI facilities. So, the client machine provides the user with the interface to utilize these servers as well as with local processing power to run the local application. So, yung laman actually ng ng client, pwede naman na lagyan ng 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 personal na applications yan. Pero hindi natin masasabi kasi na server base na siya Kasi meron na siyang sariling mga applications. Okay? Parang ang ano kasi, yung server based talaga, yung mga client, parang blanco lang sila. Okay? Parang blanco lang sila, lahat ng mga ginagawa ay napupunta sa server. The interface between the front end and the back end is through SQL or through an application program interface. Okay? Yun yung API na tinatawag, yung application program or programming interface. Okay? Yung SQL. So, mamaya pag-aralan natin yan kung ano yung ODBC, yung API, mga ganun. So, yan yung client. So, since client lang siya, parang ordinary lang na computer. The server and client computers are connected with network, of course. So, hindi mo naman masasabi na server or client yung computer mo kung hindi naman connected sa network. So, ibig sabihin pag hindi connected sa network, stand alone lang siya. Okay? Walang network na nakakonect sa kanya. Okay? Stand alone. So, ito pa, pag client server, dapat nakakonect siya sa isang network. Okay? So, para mag-communicate sila. May server ka nga, pero iba naman yung nakakonekan ng client mo o kaya ng computer mo. So, ibang usapan na naman yun. Ibang network pala connected yung computer mo, yung client mo. Client, sinasabi mo. Pero iba palang network nakasali yung isa. Okay? So, yan. So, advantages of client-server software. The client-server software architecture is versatile, message-based and modular infrastructure that is intended to improve usability, flexibility, interoperability, and scalability as compared to centralized mainframe time-sharing computing. Okay? So, yun yung isang advantage. Yan. Another one is simplicity and modularity. Okay? Client and server components are loosely coupled and therefore modular. Yan. These are easy to understand and develop. Okay? Parang ano lang, madaling ma-develop, di ba? Yan. Flexibility, both client and server software can be easily migrated across different machines in case some machine becomes unavailable or crashes. So, yung yung server pwedeng kasi yung dapat yung server o kaya yung sa client dapat pwedeng magpalit sila in case na yung isang example yung server ay nag-crash, dapat may backup agad na pwedeng sa mga client. Okay. So pwedeng i-migrate. Okay? Server down, then client become the server. Okay? Pwede yun. Yun ang maganda sa client server. Since connected na sila lahat, pwede mo nang i-migrate. Madali nang i-migrate pag nag-crash yung isa. Okay? Kahit na yung client yung nasira, pwede mo nang palitan agad. Ganun lang. The client can access the service anywhere. Also, client and servers can be added incrementally. Yan. Concurrency Thus, processing is naturally divided across several machines. Client and servers reside in different machines which can operate in parallel, and thus processing become faster. Yan. So, yan. Fault tolerance. Yan, medyo ito. Client-server-based systems are usually fault tolerant. There can be many servers. If one server crashes, then client requests can be switched to a redundant server. Yan, yung migration, parehas din yan. Cost effectiveness. Client can be cheap. Desktop computers or a server can be sophisticated, inexpensive computers. To use a sophisticated software, one needs to own only a cheap client and invoke the server. Okay. Then the specialization, one can have different type of computers to run different type of server. The server can be specialized to solve some specific problems. And extensibility, more servers and client can be effortlessly added. Yan. So, ibig sabihin yan, madali lang mag-install ng client server. Kasi nandun na, naka-ready na. So, ang problema lang yung configuration na. Okay? Nandun na yung softwares, yung mga hardwares, nandun na yung mga equipment, yung mga materials. Then, pag aberya, mas madaling palitan, mas madaling dagdagan, na ganun. Okay. Then we have also the advantages of client server. Okay. Disadvantage. Security. Yan. Security in a monolithic application, implementation of security is very easy. But in a client server-based development, a lot of flexibility is provided and the client can connect from anywhere, and this makes it easy for hackers to break into the system. Servers can be bottleneck. Servers can turn out to be bottleneck because many clients might try to connect to a server at the same time. This problem arises due to the flexibility given that any client can connect anytime required. Yan. So, yun nga, ang problema pag may access ka talaga. Okay? Pag may access ka, so lahat pwede mong kumbaga gawin. Okay? Sabi kayo, this problem arises due to the flexibility given that the client can connect anytime required. Kasi meron silang permission na kasi connected sila sa server. Pag binigyan mo sila ng permission na, o kaya sabihin natin na maluwag na permission, para mo na ring break yung security. Kaya nga yung gamit ng server administrator o yung network administrator para i-secure, dapat siguraduhin na secure yung mga files ng mga users, mga individual users. Pero kung lahat sila binigyan mo ng permission, yun ang problema talaga, yung security. Sa security ng server base. Kasi lahat pwede na silang mag-access sa server. Pero kapag yung isang user ay ni-restrict mo siya, hindi sila o yung mga user ay binigyan mo sila ng restriction na hindi sila pwedeng mag-open o kaya mag-access ng file na hindi sa kanila, yun ang maganda. Pero pag security ang pinag-uusapan, isang disadvantage ng client server. Lalo na kapag nabigyan ng permission yung mga user. So, alam naman natin pag meron tayong permission, may karapatan tayo kung minsan inaabuso. Yan. Compatibility. Another disadvantage is compatibility. Client and servers may not be compatible to each other. They may not be compatible with respect to data type, language, etc. Inconsistency. Replication of server is a problem as it can make data inconsistent. Okay? Kung minsan kasi, lalo na pag marami tayong hindi lang yung isang building yung connected sa server natin. Lalo na mga ibang computer ka pa, ganun. Marami kang kumpanya. Okay? Sample lang yun. So lahat ng mga computers kasi sa server base, pwede kang mag-connect wirelessly. Yung ibang kasi, ibang network administrator, mas prefer nila na gamitin yung example, yung open system sa server base. Kasi madali daw na i-manage yun at saka hindi naka-restrict sa sa Microsoft. Kasi pag naka-server ka at hindi license yung Windows mo sa Microsoft, yan, medyo magkakaproblema ka doon. Lalo na kapag nakakonect ka sa internet. Madidetect yan ng Microsoft. Pero kapag open office o open system yung operating system mo, yan, siyempre, na medyo free ka na gagamit doon. Yan yung medyo yung pagkakaiba. Okay? Yung iba open system, yung iba Microsoft. Yun, hindi sila magkakaintindihan. Yung language na ginagamit, yung mga So dapat naka-configure din yan. Tuloy. Yan. So replication of server is a problem as it can make data inconsistent. So ang hindi maganda pa yung maraming server. Okay? Maraming server na ginagawa. Okay, so yun yung disadvantage ng client server. Disadvantage. So meron din tayong types ng client server architecture. The two-tier architecture na tinatawag. So ano ba yung two-tier architecture? Okay? Two-tier architecture is similar to a basic client-server model. The application at the client and directly communicates with the database as the server side, or the application programming interface like ODBC, JDBC are used for this interaction. ODBC provides an API which allows client-side programs to call the DBMS. Most DBMS vendors provide ODBC drivers for their system. The server side is responsible for providing query, processing, and transaction management functionalities. On the client side, the user interface and applications programs are run. The applications on the client side establishes a connection with the server side in order to communicate with the DBMS. Okay? So an advantage of this type is that maintenance and understanding is easier, compatible, and existing system. So ang ginagawa kasi dito sa two-tier architecture is yung database management o yung database mismo. Example, gumawa tayo ng program na may database, okay? Yung mga example, may mga pangalan, may mga information, mga ganun. So, pag ginamit natin yung ODBC, yung Open Database Connectivity na tinatawag, so mangyayari kasi dyan, kung ikaw yung, example, sa'yo naka-install yung database, okay, yung program na yun, dapat i-share mo yung database niya, okay, para ma-access ng ibang computers, ibang client ang tinatawag. Ngayon, kung ano yung ginagawa, example, inopen nila yung program na yun at nag-input sila ng data, ang mangyayari dyan, kung ano yung ginagawa ng client, ay automatic na napupunta siya sa server. Okay? Yung pinaka-server niya o yung database niya, main database niya. So, ganun yung ODBC. So, isi-share niya yung database management system. So, kaya nga, easy to maintain, yan, understanding. Maintenance and understanding is easier and compatible with existing system. Okay, yung ano lang, yung tawag doon, yung Microsoft Access. Pwede na yan. Pwede mo nang i-share yan, ODBC niya. O yung database management niya. Then two-tier DBMS architectures include an application layer between the user and the DBMS, which is responsible to communicate the user's request to the database management system and then send the response from the DBMS to the user. Yan. An application interface known as ODBC or Open Database Connectivity provides an application programming interface that allows client-side program to call the DBMS. Most DBMS vendors provide ODBC drivers for their DBMS. So lahat sa mga, yun nga sabi ko, yung Microsoft Access, automatic yun na may o kaya yung operating system mismo mayroon siyang ODBC driver. Okay, para sa database management system. Such an architecture provides the DBMS extra security as it is not exposed to the end user directly. Okay. Also, security can be improved by adding security and authentication check in the application layer. So ito yung example ng two-tier architecture. Okay, the client applications. So ito yung example, ito yung sa data source, ito yung pinaka-server niya. So nandito yung program example at pwede niyang using the ODBC. Okay? The open database connectivity. So i-share niya yung database niya sa yung program mismo sa ibang computer or client computer. Yan. Yun yung gagamitin nila para pag nagtrabaho sila dyan, napupunta din siya sa main database. Okay? Yan. So advantages, easy to maintain and modification is a bit easy. Communication is faster. Yan. Sa ano kasi sa sa two-tier, maganda siya Okay, di ba? Mabilis siya. Mabilis siya, madaling i-maintain. Pero, sa disadvantage niya is, in two-tier architecture application, performance will be degrade upon increasing the user. Ibig sabihin, kapag yung tatlong user na connected sa ODBC o kaya sa database na yon, kapag dinagdagan mo pa, medyo babagal na siya. Okay? Madidegrade na siya. Yung performance niya hindi na gaya ng dati. Okay? Habang dumarami yung user na naka-access sa kanya, bumababa din siya. Kasi kung minsan hindi na kayang i-provide ng system. Okay? Kumbaga magkakaroon na ng traffic and cost and effective. Yan yung advantage and disadvantage of two-tier client server. Okay. So, dyan. Dyan nagtatapos yung discussion natin about client server application system. Okay. Client server architecture. So, yan. So, yun nga, lagi natin pinapaalala na sa mga hindi pa nakatapos ng week 1 to 5, week 1 to 5, lesson 1 to 5, so tapusin nyo na at para maipas nyo na at pwede na kayong mag-exam ng prelim. Okay, kasi from week 1 to 5, ito yung preliminary period natin. Prelim. Okay? Yung midterm naman, yun yung 7 to 11 and 13 to 17, yun yung final natin. So, kaya kung di pa nyo natapos yan, so since ito yung week 5 natin, sa subject natin, Basic Operating System with Networking. So, yan, kung may mga tanong kayo dyan sa video natin o kaya sa presentation natin, sa module natin, meron naman tayong group chat. Yan. Okay, para doon na lang kayo mag-ask ng question at yun, sagutin natin. Doon natin pag-usapan kung ano yung hindi nyo man naintindihan. Okay, so that's all and thank you ulit. Then, ingat. Ingat na lang tayo palagi para makaiwas sa COVID. Okay, so that's all and goodbye.